Starting with a floor slide, place your feet flat, roll your hips under and press your low back down on the ground. Arms are moving from a 90-degree angle all the way up overhead. When you hit shoulder height, flip over and try to go to internal rotation of your shoulder. Next, bring your knees up over your hips and try a few more with your back on the ground. Keeping your back pressed down, try a few more reps, really trying to press your hands and your arms down into the ground while keeping contact with the floor with your low back. Arms move out to a T, and you're going to rock your knees side to side. We're moving our hips off of our thoracic spine, so you want to keep those shoulder blades pressed onto the ground. If you want to make it a bit harder, straighten your legs out. If that's a little too hard to keep your shoulder blades on the ground and hands on the ground, just bend one knee and you can keep one leg straight. Once you've figured out which variation to use, let's do 4 together. Rock your knees over to the right, look over to the left, press your palms down. Inhale, bring it back to center, rock it over to the left, look over to the right. Inhale, bring it back to center, take it back to the other side, and then one last one on the other side. Next, bring your knees into your chest, split them open, and just give yourself a little low back massage, moving your pelvis side to side. Go ahead and roll up to a seated position and spin around to all fours. Flip your palms back so that your fingertips face your knees. We're going to get a wrist stretch in while we cat-cow. Round up through your spine and then arch through your spine. Exhale and round, moving to the extreme rounding range of motion that you have of your spine. And then inhale and arch the other way. Flexion and extension of the spine. Think of the top of your head going to meet your tailbone or your pubis each way. Exhale and round. Inhale and arch the other way. Big stretch across your belly and your chest. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. A couple more times. Exhale and round. And then inhale and arch. Exhale and round, contracting your core, pressing up through your shoulders, stretching across your back. And then inhale and arching, stretching across your belly and your chest. Flip your palms up towards you so that your fingertips face each other, and then rock side to side a few times. This is for the outside of the wrist and will also improve any kind of strain you have on your elbow. So rock back and forth, side to side a few times, just getting that dynamic stretch in for the outside of your wrist. Now we want to activate, so flip your palms around how they normally would be in plank, rise up on the fingertips, and then roll through your hands, spreading your hand nice and wide as you do it. This one's really important if your wrists or your elbows ever hurt you. Let's do a few more together. Rise up, roll down slow. Rise up all the way on the fingertips, roll down slow. Rise up, roll down slow. Last one. Place your hands flat, step back to a down dog, press your chest back towards your thighs, pedal out your heels, bend your knees slightly, and tilt your tailbone towards the sky. Breathe here for a few deep breaths, really trying to tilt that tailbone towards the sky, pressing your chest back towards your thighs so that you get a good stretch in your lats. And then we're going to combine our cat-cow with our down dog. Inhale, roll to plank, bend your knees slightly, tilt your tailbone up and back as you push back to down dog. Inhale, roll to plank, bend your knees slightly, tilt your tailbone up and back, roll down to down dog. We're moving through all of our joints now, putting weight into our hands finally in that plank position. Go ahead and walk your hands back to meet your feet, hang for a moment, and then we're going to round it up to a standing position. Next is hip hinge. Put your hands behind your head. For my advanced, you can put your arms by your ears, and you're just hip hinging. Hips go back, stretch out your glutes and your hamstrings, and then squeeze your glutes to come all the way up to standing. This is the flat back we had on the floor. The only joint that is moving are your hips. Squeeze your butt at the top. 4 more together. This is 4, 3, 2. Last one, and hold at the bottom. Next are Ys, Ts, and Vs. Thumbs face the ceiling. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together. We're going to do Y, V, and T. Pinching your shoulder blades together, trying to get your arms up as high as you can. Here we go. Y, V, T. Y, V, T. Y, V, T. One last time. Y, V, T. And then you're going to squeeze and hold the T position, squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top. Okay, bring your arms up and back behind your head, stand up through hip hinge. This is the most complicated. It's a swimmer's hover in hip hinge. So your arms are going to be rotating in your shoulder sockets. We want to pinch the shoulder blades together, hip hinge. Move through that Y to the T to the V, but rotate your palms so that they'll face your tailbone. Then stand up through hip hinge. Backs of the hands are still on that tailbone. Squeeze your butt. Go back down, back through swimmer's hover, rotating the arms around so the palms face the ground, behind your head, stand up, squeeze your butt. This one's very complicated. Your humerus is rotating in your shoulder socket, and you're also adding that hip hinge position. Once again, extreme range of motion. You want to see how far you can get those arms up. You want to see how much rotation you can get out of your arm. So focus on the humerus and also squeezing your shoulder blades together. We're going to do 4 reps together. Backs of the hands on the tailbone, stand up. Big swimmer's hover, squeezing the shoulder blades, reaching the arms high, hands behind your head, stand up, back down. Arms nice and high, squeeze your shoulder blades together, back of the palm on the tailbone. Stand up, squeeze your butt. Keep moving through this, go as slow as you need to. If you have any questions about this one, hit me up. I know it's complicated, lots of joints moving, lots of things happening. Okay, last rep. After all that hip hinging, hopefully your hamstrings are a little bit more stretched out. So we're going to get a little more power for the glutes and the hamstrings with a fast hip hinge, and also warm your feet up. So this is a balance up on your toes, nice and tall. Tuck your hips under. Imagine like your back's against the floor. And then you're going to sweep your arms down, hip hinge all the way down. You want to land with flat feet with your arches lifted. I guess I shouldn't have said flat feet. You want your arches lifted and you're on the outside edge of your feet. The feet are nice and wide, evenly distributed. Weight on the ball of the foot as well as the heel of the foot. Let's do 4 together. Inhale, rise up onto your toes as high as you can. Get as tall as you can. Exhale, hip hinge. Land with a nice flat back. Rise up. Good balance. Squeeze your butt. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, hip hinge. Inhale, rise up. Nice strong core. Exhale, hip hinge. Land with solid feet. Last one, rise all the way up as tall as you can get on those toes. Nice deep inhale, exhale, hip hinge. Next is lateral movement for the torso. So hips are going to stay square, but you're going to move your torso around. Hips might move a little bit, but we want to just move that torso around. 2 times to the left, and then 2 times to the right. Arms up by your ears. The biggest circle you can make with your torso. And then 1 more time, 2 times to the right and 2 times to the left. Lateral hip hinge. You're going to take that hip out to the left side. Turn your right toe slightly out to the side, reaching your right arm down towards the inside of the arch of the foot. Give me 4 of them. 1, 2, zone in on that left hip. Let it go off to the side completely, and then squeeze your left glute as you come up and stack your hand up over your heel. Final 1, and then just hold at the bottom and open up in this triangle pose. Open up the adductor, and then rotate towards the right leg. Take a really long lunge. Hold this position, actively squeeze your quad, and then drop your back knee down to the ground and uncurl your toe. Open up into a back bend if it feels good, but try not to go into your low spine. Lean forward, bring your heel to your butt, and stretch out your quad. If it feels okay, you can reach around, grab that foot, and give it a little tug in. Back to your high lunge, and we're going to go for our T-spine rotation. So squeezing your quad, trying to get that back leg nice and straight. Open your right arm up to the ceiling, open your chest up without moving your hips. Exhale, drive that forearm down to the ground and round through your shoulder blades. Inhale, open back up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, drop that forearm back down to the ground. You're squeezing the shoulder blades together and then stretching through the shoulder blades completely as you drop that elbow down. Let's do 4. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and place that hand back down and then bring your left foot in slowly to meet your right. Rock through your feet a few times, rolling through them. And you can either stay here or lift that back leg all the way up and go into a standing split. Don't worry about it if you don't. This might be a goal for another day. Hang out there for a few breaths, or you're just rocking and rolling through your feet. Finally, slowly lower that leg back down, drop into your lunge, and then rotate back to center, dropping your chest over your legs. And now we're going to roll it up to standing and go on to the other side. Lateral hip hinge with the right arm up to the ceiling. Toes are slightly turned out to the left-hand side. That hip is going out, and then you're squeezing your right glute as you come up, stabilizing your spine, keeping your chest nice and open, almost like you're going down between two walls. Then hold at the bottom. Drop down into your long lunge on your left side. Squeeze your right quad. Drop your back knee down and curl your toe. Keep your hips tucked, and you can take that back bend, opening up the hip flexor a little bit here. Hands go back down. We're going over to that quad stretch. Bring your heel in first. You should be on top of your knee, and then reach around for the back foot if it feels okay. You can always pause and hang here for a moment. Go back to your lunge. Left arm goes up to the ceiling. Bring your forearm down to the inside of that arch, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale, round through the shoulder blades. A few more times. Let's do it for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Put your hand down and bring that right foot in towards the left for the pyramid pose. Both legs are straight, rocking and rolling through your feet a few times. Either take standing split here or just continue to rock and roll just like we did on the other side. Put that leg back down and bring it back to center. Grab onto either elbow, drop your head, drop your shoulders heavy, slight bend in your knees, and sway side to side. Let your torso really swing. Finally, stop in the center and heel toe your feet together. And then we're going to drop down into a primitive squat. Turn your toes out slightly, push your knees out to the side. We want the knees to stack over the toes, so use your arms to lever those knees open. We want the knees to be right over the arch of your foot. Rock back and forth until your weight is evenly distributed between your heel and the ball of your foot. Then you're going to raise your arms up in a V, stand all the way up. Hip hinge. Drop your hands towards your toes, sit back down into your squat. Arms go up, stand up, hip hinge, arms towards your toes, sit down into a squat. Arms up, stand up, hip hinge, hands towards your feet, drop down. These are called bootstrappers. Let's do them a few more times together. For 3, sit down. For 2, and last one. Finally, the hardest T-spine rotation will be in this primitive squat. You want to open your chest up towards the sky, levering your arms open, and then switching to the other side. Let's do a few together. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Finally, forward fold over your legs, heel toe your feet together, and then round your spine all the way up to standing. Big reach up. You're done. Good work, you guys. These are the mobility drills that have gotten rid of a lot of pain in most of my clients. The only way to get to results is to do it consistently, though. So try it out for 2 weeks. Ask me if you have questions, and let me know how it goes. I'll be back with more videos soon.